Yo, people, welcome back to Danny AFC TV. Yes, the realest YouTuber, Arsenal YouTuber anyway, is back live. It's 10 p.m. It's Danny AFC TV time. I think about 10:20 tonight, we do have a Newcastle fan coming into the chat. Big him up. Don't even know his name right about now. Started talking to him today on Twitter, but big him up. We'll soon learn his name. My angle on this is wanting to know how confident Newcastle fans are. For the first time in God knows, maybe since they had Kevin Keegan or perhaps the great Bobby Robson as manager of club. So I want to see how confident this geezer is. He's going to be representing Newcastle for me clearly, as in a whole. I want to hear how confident the Geordies are. What do they actually think they're going to do in the January window? How much of a trouble or inconvenience they could be to Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, or whoever trying to fight for top four, or if you're 7 points clear, of course, fighting for a championship winners medal. And I shall be there going forward this season. So first of all, guys, no watch along tomorrow, I'm afraid. My bad. Yes, the real ones are in the chat though. Yes, so listen, guys, we have got a Geordie joining the stream at 10:20 precisely. So shouts out to him. Hank Yumi, my real one. A few new bits today. So obviously, without stating the obvious, Arsenal-wise, Mikhailo Mudryk, I've kind of put my name on it and said it's done. I think Fabrizio's put something out there today saying something about a Saka clause in his contract. But Arsenal have made the second bid, allegedly up to 70 million, etc. So, guys, please get a like on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. I've told you last night that this deal is actually done. I don't know what the massive delay is. A 5.5-year deal is agreed with Mikhailo Mudryk. The deal is agreed with the club in principle. Is it Arsenal have to start sending over money? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Arsenal could stall at this at the best of times. But let's get into the chat. Bigging up Hank Yumi, Lung Burkamp. What is good? Just finished recording. Respect my G. What's good? Good, Hazard. Lee, can't wait to see you tomorrow, mate. It's been more than a minute. And bigging up Han Yumi. Guys, I'm going to start off today with Premier League news. The Frank de Jong can of beans, the can of worms has been opened. The Barcelona midfielder is now getting restless and agitated at Barcelona. Things haven't been quite right since the proposed summer move to Man United got kind of canned, binned and shelved. Now, word on road is he's willing to sort of negotiate about the money that Barcelona actually owe him, this 8 to 9 million euros that Barcelona owe him due to COVID and everything. If Barcelona were to stump up half of this cash, say 4.5 million euros, he's now ready to complete a deal to Man United. It would now obviously depend on how much Barcelona want to squeeze the life out of Man United trying to get this deal done. But Man United, allegedly like Man City, they're very noisy neighbours. It's been said they weren't going to do too much business this January. I feel Man City's hand is going to be forced, with Arsenal now being 7 points clear at the top of the table. And I think they're going to go for someone quite extravagant, quite lavish, and quite a fucking good player. Rafael Leao is the guy in mind for me. But anyway, into the Premier League news. Arsenal, Newcastle, as we know, 7:45 tomorrow. No watch along, I'm afraid, but we have got a Newcastle fan joining. Saliba, Saka, 1-year extensions. I'm not liking this. I want to see a little bit what Fabrizio Romano has said, something about a Saka clause. There's only so many hours in the day and so many hours for me to research things going on to YouTube. Smith Rowe will officially, hopefully, I'm going to say officially, be ready for tomorrow. He will be ready for his first appearance in a minute. Anyway, and I'm hearing rumours that KT, Kieran Tommy, Breva is going to start tomorrow. No idea why. Obviously, something is up with Zinchenko. Anyway, Neves' Barcelona move has stalled. Barcelona haven't come up with the money that was allegedly meant to be ready for Wolverhampton on January the 1st. Can this bring anyone else, especially Premier League teams, into the hunt for Ruben Neves again? Arsenal and Liverpool obviously are admirers of this player, so too Man United. Newcastle, why, man? They're interested in the Real Valladolid right back, Ivan Fresenda. He's 19. He's having a massively good breakthrough season at Real Valladolid in Spain. They're also linked with Marlo Gusto. So I'm going to predict, Newcastle fans, yes, you're probably looking for a right back. This Marlo Gusto at Lyon looks the bollocks. He's 19 as well. So I know you've got, what's his name? Trippier. Reliable Mr. Trippier. So I take it you're looking for some fresh young blood, Newcastle fans, but Ivan Freshenda and Marlo Gusto have both been linked to Arsenal and Newcastle today. Zaha is free to talk to foreign clubs as of, well, January the 1st, as we probably all know. Barcelona are allegedly looking at a deal. Benoit Badiashile has completed his move to Chelsea. It's anything between 33 and 40 million. As I mentioned a second ago, Frankie de Jong to Man United could be back on. Spurs and Aston Villa are allegedly are preparing bids for Frank Kessie. Unsettled at Barcelona, even though he sees his future at Barcelona. Barcelona don't quite see his future at their club. AC Milan are monitoring the scoring prowess of Florin Balogun, obviously the Arsenal on loan striker at Reims. And Eddie Howe is confident of 2 January signings going forward again. Well, the hat's just dropped off the wall. Henderson. Newcastle, Eddie Howe is confident of 2 signings. AC Milan, as I've said, are monitoring Balogun. Benoit Badiashile, whatever his name is, has completed his move to Chelsea. Chelsea are now moving on to Enzo Fernandez. Zaha is free to talk to foreign clubs, could be making a move. Well, Barcelona are monitoring the situation as they watch with anyone that's on a free transfer kind of move. Neves, the Barcelona deal, as I told you a couple of days ago, has stalled. Barcelona haven't come up with the money. And Newcastle are eyeing right back that Arsenal have been keeping tabs on, Ivan Freshenda, if that is exactly how you pronounce his name, the Real Valladolid right back. Now it's Arsenal Newcastle tomorrow, guys. I hear Smith Rowe is back. KT is going to start. And Saliba and Saka, 1-year extensions. Now that stinks of something I really don't like. 1-year extensions for these 2 Gs, for these 2 guys going forward, like potential skippers. Do you know what I mean? What's up, bruvs? Where is this true Geordie? I'm not sure. I think 10:20 he did say to me, what is time wait? Yeah, man. You don't want to be late coming on to fucking Danny AFC TV. Let me just see if this geezer said anything. Lucas in the chat. I'll be on this channel. Big up. Yeah, he's coming on. He's just put it on Twitter that he's coming on this channel. I'll be on this channel. Mate, you should have put the legendary channel that is Danny AFC TV. But shouts out to Rodney, to Plonker, to Liakers, everyone in the chat. Saliba and Saka to Mr. Spurs game if they're booked tomorrow. Yes, I was realizing this yesterday and was reporting this yesterday. So hopefully, listen, I don't want to be seeing Rob Holding against Tottenham. The way he gets spun by old Sonny could be something that I can't take. Good evening, people. Rodney, what's going on? Sorry, I missed what you just said. 3-horse race between Newcastle, Man City and Arsenal for the Premier League title. Do you actually rate Newcastle? Listen, if Newcastle was to turn us over tomorrow, Rodney, I think Newcastle would have every right to kind of feel that they're very much in a Premier League title race. I also feel if Newcastle were to deliver their Geordie fans 2 class signings in January, like I say, if Arsenal were to deliver us fans 2 class signings, I think we've got a massive shout of winning the league. I think Newcastle fans could be quietly confident also if they could get like a Maddison and say a Tillemans in the club, if they want a midfielder and a attacking midfield instance. Could they be the 2 signings that could kind of rubber stamp their shout for top 4? We'll see what the Geordie says when he comes in. We'll see how confident he is of turning over this mighty Arsenal with Odegaard, Saka and Martinelli all on fire. Never forget Eddie. Will Saliba and Saka be dropped tomorrow night? Then with the Spurs game. No way. Arteta will not. There's no way in hell Arteta will drop them. I'm very sure Arteta will have a word of them, especially Saliba. Let's have it right. Saliba's the centre-half. He's had a bit of a shaky game the last game. Made a mistake, obviously. Wow, biggity, whippity do. Do you know what I mean? Bigging up William Saliba on that. Made a bit of a fucking bollocks arse of one of the goals for... oh, my God. Who did we play the other day? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, 4-2. And my mind's gone. And anyway, I don't know. Saliba's the guy I worry about tomorrow getting booked. Callum Wilson is nippy. If Alexander Isaac was available, he's fast as a fucking gazelle as well. And then you've got their wingers, Almiron. Saint Maxim, I'm not sure where he is, but Almiron is on fire. So I want a sensible game from Saliba tomorrow. As for Saka, he doesn't usually get involved in the mix-up. Obviously, he gets a booking here and there. That's usually when he gets pissed off. But hopefully, Saka's not the guy I'm worrying about. Obviously, if we're 2-3, up come the last 10, 20, 30 minutes or something, I'll be looking to drag both of them off with White Hart Lane in mind. But my only worry, honestly, to that is Saka will be fine. I hope Saliba has a very calm and sensible game. So there's absolutely no need to be panicking about some dickhead called Rob Holding coming back into the team. Because God forbid, I don't think he'll put Tommy back at right back and move Bayern Chud back into the centre. Guys, please be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. It is Arsenal Newcastle tomorrow. There is no watch along, but I'll be at the stadium, so I'm going to start doing some YouTube shorts. I need to start upping my YouTube game, so some YouTube shorts will be coming at you from tomorrow from the stadium. I've also got a couple of tickets for sale. I can't believe some geezer said I was a scammer on Twitter. If I could have reached through the phone and knocked him out, oh my gosh. Anyway, hold on, is Enzo Fernandez still linked to Chelsea? He certainly is, bruvs. The haggling, I think from what I'm hearing is Chelsea are more than willing to pay up to 70, 75 for this guy. Benfica are kind of holding out for over £100 million, which I think is sensational. Like, he was all right for Argentina. Like, I just don't get or know why £100 million has been discussed. But hey ho, Vinicius Saka drops tomorrow night. Then the Spurs game in mind. I don't think so, not at all, bruv. Still, there should be, in my imagination, no chance of that. Newcastle are a team bang in form. You can't be trying to disrespect Newcastle and trying to drop Rob Holding into the centre-back position tomorrow. Like Isaac Almiron or someone else won't terrorise you. So no chance whatsoever. We will take our chances with our boys, obviously, even with White Hart Lane. The only thing you could say of that, if 10, 15 minutes to go, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if Saka, Saliba were to come off, if they're obviously nice and tidy and not been booked. Do you know what I mean? And we're 2-0 up or something against Newcastle. I could see both of the boys coming off. But apart from that, listen, Saka isn't a guy that flies into tackles or gets into trouble. Saliba's reasonably sensible. This hopefully shouldn't be what our biggest panic is tomorrow. Our biggest panic is tomorrow is just taming Newcastle and making sure we kind of show them what's what when it comes towards the title race, guys. We're 7 points clear. I don't want no slips from this club tomorrow. Guys, please be bigging up all of the real ones in the chat. Please be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. It is Arsenal Newcastle tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be dropping some YouTube shorts from the stadium. I'll be trying to speak to some fans and supporters of both clubs. And I'm going to try and find my little clip-on microphone. I don't know why I'm looking over there like it could be up there, but there's where my drawers are, and I accuse everything of being in the top drawer. Won't be suspended, got Oxford after. Nah, bruvs, I've heard it also, but shouts out to you on that one, though, because I did forget about Oxford, but I've been told it would be the Spurs game both of them would miss if they were to be booked tomorrow. I don't think it actually does, because I've been told they definitely missed the league game against Tottenham. So no, I don't think so. The chance in between Fury and the True Geordie on the True Geordie channel. I didn't. I've heard some bits and pieces about this, though. I need to chase that up because I heard it was reasonably funny, brother. Madison to Newcastle. This is something I said about a month ago on this channel. I said, I went all out to say I reckon Newcastle are going to make 2 massive signings in January. 2 statement signings, 2 signings that I reckon will keep their asses and their Geordie selves truly in a top 4 race. One of them I named to be Madison, and I said the other I reckon would be a central midfielder. There's a lot of word and talk on road linking Newcastle with a right back, Marlo Gusto of Lyon and Ivan Freshenda of Real Valladolid. Both young, promising right backs, both 19, both look shit hot. Sorry, guys, I'm forgetting to say some of your comments. I might pin them and I'm fucking off. Dan, did you see the? I don't know. Rob Holding is spinning from the last game. Bruvs, Rob Holding is still concussed, bruvs. Like, he wakes up some mornings, sometimes in a panic, like, I've heard he has a girlfriend has to wake him up and throw water on him. So he's like, Rob, that Oriental guy is not fucking with you no more. Stop it. He's like, no, stop. Man's trying to do some, like, karate kicks and he's in his sleep giving it, like, some Shaolin shit, like, do you know what I mean? But that's what Son done to the geezer. He broke him as a footballer. He broke him for a hot minute. He broke him, bro. The guy's still spinning. Like I remember one of the bits from like White Hart Lane last season. God forbid I shouldn't be laughing because we're not a top 4 team because of it. But Son decides to kind of drop his shoulder before the ball is in the air. This one, Son kind of drops his shoulder. He looks at Rob Holding's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and just run off. Rob Holding is still sort of spinning and tripped over his own feet. Meow, 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 meow. Rob Holding. Anyway, little video in the pub before the game. Most definitely. Why not, bruvs? Maddison to Newcastle, man. Why? Yeah, man, we're going to sign Maddison. And then Maddison's going to become fucking top scorer for Newcastle and for England, man. Why? Yay. He's going to be better than Shearer. Shouts out to you, Jimmy, the guy. I hope you have liked the video, brother. And I hope you have subscribed to the channel. You need to keep up to good. The need a keeper too. Good swap deal. But hold on. You have taken Dubravka, if you're a Newcastle fan, of course. You've taken Dubravka back from Manchester United. So unless you're actually selling him on to another bidder or someone else, obviously, I see it as you're a bit insecure. But you've had Darlow. Darlow's looked okay. I know, with an ish on the end. Shouts out to Ish. I know Darlow's had his moments. You've got a couple of keepers there. Darlow, who's another one? Fuck knows. But I know Dubravka, and Pope has been pretty relentless since he got there. So I don't think it's someone to challenge Pope, if that's what you're getting at. I think it's possibly steady backup. But what the fuck is Dubravka there for then? He's been taken back from Man United for a reason. Maybe it's because he's getting F all for games at Man United. I'm unsure. But did they really think he was going to go to Man United and take De Gea's place? Dun, dun. Weren't going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It just weren't going to happen, mate. It just weren't going to fucking happen. Do you know what I mean? That's like going to win Toxteth and thinking you're going to do someone's missus right in front of them. You're probably going to meet Stanley. Son broke him. He did, bruvs. Rob Holding ain't half the human being he used to be, bruvs. He sits there certain times at night. He's like this. Babe, what's wrong? We are playing Tottenham soon. Son is going to spin. Rob Holding will go down with an injury before he plays against Tottenham. Seriously, God forbid, touch wood, please God, no. If Saliba was to get booked tomorrow, Rob Holding's going to go down with a mystery illness. It's called go fuck yourself. I am not playing against Son ever again. Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. What time is it? No, the geezer ain't late. Rob Holding. Get messed up so bad. Man grew hair. But he needed more than a couple operations for that, seriously. I heard he had a couple of psychological things going on deeply ever since White Hart Lane, though. Because he's going to Leicester. Who's going Leicester? Over London, Sea and Leicester. Who's going Leicester? If we're talking about Maddison, he already plays for them. I don't know. If you are a Newcastle fan, unless you're just having a laugh here on stream, I actually reckon Newcastle could try and do a double whammy, a double bubble swoop at Leicester City this January. I reckon they could go for Yuri and Maddison to try and top up their top 4 bid, if you like. But that's what I'm thinking. Who's going Leicester? Yes. Go on, Hazard. Yes, the Oxford game does count as a domestic game. So the suspension would happen for the FA Cup game and not the Spurs game. Interesting. I've heard it totally different, but I'm not going to argue with one of the real ones. And shouts out to UE because he first said it. So Hazard's confirming it. UE said it. Interesting. He's going to be the bait to get Maddison. Who though? Who? Paul Daniels? Who? Paul Gascoigne? Kevin Keegan? Who? Fristino Espria? David Ginola from back in the day? Who are you talking about? Who is going to be the guy? Oh, Dubravka. Sorry, I'm the dickhead. Stop. Bravs, shouts out to you. We're talking, Dubravka is going to be... Yeah, they've got shit goalkeepers. Who have they got? They've got Ward and some... Bravs, superb. I totally get what you're talking about now. Sorry, mate. It must be because I blaze too much. Shouts out to the blazing crew. Yeah, that makes total sense because Newcastle, that geezer in goal, Ward, I honestly think, and this is with no disrespect, but these 2 good white hands, I think I'm a better goalkeeper than Ward. Seriously, Ward is disgusting. Shouts out to, where is it, Jimmy? Jimmy Carter, Jimmy, top man, mate. I totally get it. He's going to be the bait for Maddison. Yes, the Bravka. Yes, yes, yes. I reckon you'll get Maddison for 45 mil now. You try and sting them for what, 15, 18 mil for Dubravka. You'll try and use his loan experience at Man United as something as a top-up tool. I don't know. But yes, it makes total sense. I see. I reckon Maddison's going Newcastle, guys. 100%. Thankfully, it won't be in time for tomorrow night. I reckon we're going to kick Newcastle's ass 3-1 tomorrow night. But there you go. Hey ho, guys. Please get the predictions in for Arsenal versus Newcastle tomorrow. Shout out to all the real ones. Do get a like on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Hope Arteta remembers what happened last season. Yep, Newcastle manhandled us. Exactly, bruvs. Oh, God. I wasn't so upset with Newcastle. I felt we'd kind of blown it for ourselves last season by the time Newcastle dealt out that little body blow of a punch to us. The Geordie is here, guys. Shouts out to everyone in the chat. 30 seconds, my Newcastle brother. I'm going to just finish these chats real quick. Hold on. Probably better to be booked and miss Oxford. Well, there you go. But I'm still not convinced Saka or Saliba miss Oxford if they are booked against Newcastle tomorrow, mate. The Scousers got done by the Bees. I know. Anyway, hold on. Let me just get this impatient guy in. Not impatient, I'm joking. Guys, welcome. We have got a Newcastle fan in the stream today on the eve of when Arsenal-Newcastle. When has this been such a massive figure for either team? Arsenal have flirted with the top four, well, under Wenger for over 20 years and was firmly in it. Newcastle, the last time they were genuinely been a top four team, I can only think of Kevin Keegan or Bobby Robson. That would have been the genuine Newcastle looking like a decent team. Probably the times of Ginola, Faustino, Aspria, man. But, bro, welcome to the show, mate. What's going on?
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Hold on, my sound is down like an idiot. Hold on, let's try and here we go. There's the volume. Sorry, mate, I can hear you now. Go on. What was you saying?
Yeah, thank you for having me on tonight. And yeah, it's going to be a great game tomorrow night. I can see it be full of action between both sides. It's going to be quite an open game. At least Arsenal play unlike Leeds did at the weekend when they kept 11 players behind the ball in that second half and made it very, very boring.
All right. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions regarding transfers. Listen, Newcastle is a team I've kind of always had a bit of a soft spot for. And when they were taken over and Mike Ashley was finally binned and the whole sort of London gangster, whatever they said, was running the club at Newcastle, kind of pissed off and left you guys alone, it's been looking kind of bright and rosy ever since. Hand on heart, I'm sure I know what you're going to answer. Would you have actually chosen Eddie Howe as your manager at that time? The day you made the appointment, hand on heart, would you have chosen Eddie Howe that day?
He wasn't. Well, he would have been one of the managers that I would have had on the agenda. But if there was more at the time, we were looking at like Emery. We thought he was coming into the club, your ex-manager.
Yep.
Then he decided to stay at Villarreal, and then Eddie Howe came in. I wasn't underwhelmed by that. I was like, okay, look what he's done with Bournemouth. He's got experience of being in the Premier League. He's got experience of a relegation battle. So let's give him a chance. And he didn't only just keep us up, he kept us up well and truly. And I mean, we ended up being about 8 or 9 points off a 7th place finish in the Premier League last season.
That was never a dig. I just remember saying, when Eddie Howe, I remember saying it on this channel, obviously, my channel, I was like, when Eddie Howe was appointed, I was like, shit, of all roads for them to go down and they've got so much money. I'll tell you why I said this. I was looking at some of his signings for Bournemouth. 15 million Jordan Ibe. Fuck knows where he even plays football these days, mate. Dominic Solanke, £22 million from Liverpool. I know he's forged half a decent career for himself as a forward at Bournemouth, but do you know what I mean? They were massive signings then, and he bought a bunch of people. 10 million Benica Phobie from the Championship, a former Arsenal player, about 11, 12 mil, never got a scratch or a sniff, let alone a goal for them. So my only worry was, this geezer is obviously incapable of spending money. And the minute he dropped, with no disrespect to Wood, as soon as he bought Wood from Burnley for 20 million, I was like, right, yeah, man, he's back up to his old tricks. But I have to say, I give him the plaudits, seriously. Bruno Gomes, fantastic. He's got more of a tune out of Almiron than I've seen since he joined Newcastle, obviously. As for your record striker, what's his name? Joe fucking Linton. He's now a central midfielder that actually does well. So I've been massively impressed with Eddie Howe, and I was very sceptical as not as a Newcastle fan, obviously, but as him taking them forward. Now, it's around that time again when Newcastle could be unleashed and about to spend a load of this money and Arabic money and the extra loose change that you've got around you. So who would be your choices? Now, I've said I reckon Maddison is incoming to a club. Someone in the chat a minute ago, Jimmy, he said with the reason why Newcastle took the Pravka back from Man United is he's the bargaining tool to get Maddison to Newcastle. I think that absolutely makes sense because I tell you what, Leicester have not only got one, they've got two awful goalkeepers. Since Casper pissed off, they've been struggling goalkeeper-wise. I think this is a win, not a win-win, as in they're going to lose Maddison, but I think this is a win-win for you guys. You get your Dubravka back, you ship him off out to Leicester, they get half a decent goalkeeper, they lose Maddison, but you're going to have to put a decent amount on top. What do you think about that? And how happy would you be with such a deal?
Yeah, I think that's... I mean, when Dubravka came back, I was sort of thinking... So I thought along them lines, something's going on here. Because we could have just left him there, but we recalled him back.
I'm sure, Eddie Howe or no one else at Newcastle thought he was actually going to go and challenge De Gea for the place. So it wasn't because he wasn't getting game time. I knew something was up when they recalled him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange one because we don't really need him in the team. The way he left Newcastle to go to Man United was a bit bad. The way he said, well, I don't want to be a number 2, I want to be a number 1. But he went to Man U to be a number 2 or a number 3.
It makes no sense. As soon as he said that, I was like, well, gobshite. Sorry to say, you're not going to be number 1 at Man United either. I mean, sorry, go on.
But yeah, if it's a bargaining tool, then that's a great thing to do because it means us to get a goalkeeper.
It's got to be, as you said.
I'm just wondering if Maddison's going to come in, or I just don't know what's happening with this injury. I mean, is it a mystery injury? Has the owners told Brendan Rodgers, don't play him because we want to sell him in January? But they've got to get the best deal because when they sell Maddison, they've then got to give Norwich a 15% sell-on fee.
Ah, fuck, I didn't know that. Interesting. So they're going to still want, even with the Dubravka, they're going to still want a chop of money. Now, sorry, you just said something that reminded me of something. What did you just say? Sorry, you just said not the obviously, again, all right, just finishing the Dubravka. Now it makes sense, though, because Leicester have got not one, but 2 awful goalkeepers. Now I'm more than sure. But you said about protecting Maddison. Tielemans was dropped the other day as well. Tielemans has been linked to Arsenal. I'm sure you know. He ain't been on the moon for the last year, but he's been linked solidly with Arsenal. I have a feeling Newcastle might nick this guy. What do you think about central midfield, Newcastle?
Yeah, again, somebody put out a rumour tonight there saying apparently we're in personal discussions with Tielemans, apparently.
There you go.
How true that is, I do not know. All I seen was it was put out there on Twitter. It could just be a wind-up. It could be anything. But
I mean, personally,
it's official.
But I've put it on this channel in the last week or so. I reckon Newcastle, again, for whichever reason, whoever's told me, I've said Newcastle, I reckon, are seriously going to go for Tielemans. The problem with Tielemans is Leicester ain't going to get £20 million. Unless now you're going to do something with Dubravka and him, and you're going to keep, obviously, now, because something, that's what you said, the 15%, bang, trigger, sorry. There you go. So more likely for me now, if you was to try and nick Dubravka, you're going to probably do something. Tielemans. You're going to try and do something with Dubravka, bearing in mind they have to give Norwich 15% of the fee. So I still reckon you're going 50, 60 million for Maddison. But anyway, just rounding this up before everyone else loses the will to live in the chat. Not that we're boring. What do you think? Them 2 signings, you're a top 4 club, basically, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we're up there because we've played so well. I mean, if somebody had said to me we would be top 4 by the end of the year, I would have laughed at them, if I'm honest.
Same as.
It's the job Eddie Howe's done, and it's our style of football we're playing under. We're playing pressing and intensity football, and the thing is, a lot of teams are caught out by this. I mean, our worst performance was probably at Southampton, and we still went out and beat them 4-1. If we can play bad and still beat a team 4-1. That sends shockwaves to the Premier League saying, well, hang on a minute, if they're having an off day, what they're going to be like on a good day.
Fair enough. And I say the exact same. So quickly on to tomorrow now. What do you think the score will be, first of all?
Tomorrow, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Interesting. See, I've said 3-1. That's obviously, I think, with the big Arsenal heart and chest here, I'm going 3-1. whether that's my heart or my head. Obviously, I'm at the game as well tomorrow, and I can scream really loud. So I have a feeling I could be like the 12th man tomorrow. Who knows? Do you know what I mean? Shouts out to Lee Akers as well, because he'll be at the game with me tomorrow. But I don't know. I'm going. See, mate, Man City, we know how good and the Haaland effect. If we were to slip up, and this is no disrespect, any slip up right now, I think we're going to lose momentum and we're going to start suddenly crumbling. And without putting a too fine a point, that the Arsenal will fall out of Arsenal. I say we've got to keep this winning run going as long as we can. I'm going 3-1 tomorrow, brother. So I'm going to stick with 3-1. Obviously, yeah. Who do you think? Obviously, is it Wood up? Well, listen, what's up with Isaac and St. Maximin? Is he injured? Because I know he's been super quiet. So what's going on? Almiron is on fire. What's going on with St. Maximin?
Yeah, St. Maximin, he played on Saturday. He come on as a sub.
He's back.
Isak's still. Well, we're not sure what's happening with Isak. Eddie Howe wants to get him 100% fit before he plays him now, which is understandable. Tomorrow, I can see Wilson will play up front. I think Wood will be dropped. And I also think Longstaff will be dropped and put Joe Linton back in that midfield three alongside Joe Willock and Bruno. And ESM will come in on the left.
See, just even hearing that from you as a Newcastle fan, it's almost like, as much as I like Joe Linton as a footballer, he's a £40 million striker that couldn't score, sort of carved out a career for himself in midfield. You're screaming out, John Joe Shelby, he's a never guy. I like him as a footballer, not probably England quality, like brilliant squad player. I just think you need, I don't know whether Tillemans is the guy. I just think, again, Newcastle, without putting too much of a finer point out, I'm going to jump in some of my comments here for a minute. But I think Newcastle with a sensible midfielder, and either a winger or attacking mid, just to put the rocket up St. Maximin, Almiron's arse, if necessary, someone that can come in, cross, score, supply goals. I think you're all right up front. Callum Wilson, Isaac. Look at Arsenal, we've only got Eddie Nketiah at the moment, so I'll be more confident with Newcastle's front two at the moment, personally.
Yeah, I mean... but like I say, I mean, the thing with ESM, he's had his injury problems, but they're aside now, and he's back to fitness again. So if he plays tomorrow, that'll make a difference. He can be unplayable on his day. He done that against Man City. He ripped Kyle Walker at the bits. And I know you've got a prediction 3-1, but we've got a great defence. We've got an absolute cracking defence. We've got the best defence in the league. So if you do get 3 goals, you'll have to play extremely well to get 3 past us. I mean, Man City are the only other team that's actually scored 3 against us. We were up at Liverpool. We should have had a draw in that game, and we should be unbeaten at the moment.
Isaac, and I think it was his second game for Newcastle. I was already sat there thinking, wow, I know this was an expensive one here, but this guy really does look a fucking talent. And what a shame for him to sort of be injured. He sort of come in with the injury, I got told. Or sorry, I've even heard Eddie Howe say Sky Sports, or not, I was told. But he was obviously carrying some sort of injury when he got to Newcastle. But he certainly started off his career on fire. But sorry, just to confirm, as you're the Newcastle, St. Maximin will be probably benched tomorrow. But that's obviously something that can come on. Isaac, will he be on the bench tomorrow?
Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Howe puts him on the bench. It wouldn't surprise us.
Exactly what I thought.
Eddie Howe keeps his cards close to his chest. That's the thing.
All right, so you've gone 1-1. Guys, please get it into the comments. Please hit the likes on the video. If you is new, please subscribe. I'm going to go into some of the comments. That's true, viewers. What is this? Sorry, that's true. Don't know what we've missed here. Let's the rules. Much love. Change what? I believe Sky more. Well, yeah, I'm going to go with, sorry, we were talking about if Saka or Saliba are booked tomorrow against you guys, they're going to automatically miss the North London derby against Tottenham next week. That was a bit of the topic. I don't know if you was listening before you come in. So I'm just sort of still replying to these. So, yeah, guys, I reckon they're not going to miss Oxford for whatever reason. FA Cup, they'll get slid for whatever reason, and they will miss the North London derby. I also heard it on Sky. I don't want to say Sky are 2,000,000% right all the time, but there you go. Not having it, Lee. Love to you, son. That's what's been reported. I love it. The real ones are up and running. Because the Cup and the League Cup games have always counted as domestic games. I do know that. Can you shed any light on this? Should NFA Cup count as domestic games? So basically, if Longstaff and whoever is on 4 bookings tomorrow, will they miss the game after Arsenal?
No, because one of our journalists got it wrong. He said because Trippier got booked on Saturday, that he'd miss tomorrow night's game
Uh-huh.
because Trippier got booked against Bournemouth
Uh-huh.
in the Carabao Cup, but they
Yep.
don't count. So it's only Premier League games where the bookings count.
So I'm gonna run with you on this one, and I'm running with Lee Akers. Yui, my RB, my Turkish Don and G. I love you, but I'm gonna say no for this one. I'm gonna say me, Lee Akers, and our debutant of a guest tonight. Sorry, what's your name, brother? I'm gonna keep calling you
Tony.
Geordie. Tony. I'm gonna keep
Tony.
Geordie. Yeah. I thought you said Geordie. I thought, did he just say fucking Geordie? I was gonna keep calling you Geordie. I thought he just said Geordie. Hopefully we don't have to worry about it. Most definitely. Dan, you know the man. Like Tug of War, the Greek fella, he's an absolute lunatic. Well, I wonder what we're talking about there. Sorry, it must have been something earlier. I'm sure this is not to you, brother. Is it Darmesh? Darmesh Lee. Was it Darmesh? Leave it out, you. Don't be such a wind up, yeah? Darmesh is a Buddha. Shouts out to you, Azar. I don't love Darmesh either. He winds me up, seriously. You know, I'd love to do to Darmesh from Sky Sports News. I'd love to run up behind him, slap him on the top of his head while he's live as well. So I don't give a fuck if he's reporting from the Emirates, fucking St James's Park, fucking Anfield. I'd love to clap him straight on the back of his head, I'm telling you. Linda ain't Tony. Linda ain't Tori, is she? So I thought we're getting Tony involved. I was like, what? No, Tori. All right, fair enough. No, been for Boris Johnson. Right, we don't care. We're talking Arsenal Newcastle tonight. Don't know the name. Lee's gonna keep running with this one. He's not gonna have it. Lee's gonna be like, right, fuck this geezer. Man like True Dawdy, you know, welcome, brother. There you go. Shouts out, man like True Dawdy, welcome. Shouts out to you, Rodders. Bang. Go away, Hazard. Why, yay, man, welcome. Why, yay, man. Shouts out
Thank you.
Welcome, Geordie, bro. Love to the BLM background. New. Go on, yeah, slick. I like it. I wasn't even thinking. Go on, Azza, brother. 4-1 to Arsenal, Eddie to score 3. If that happens, I'll give you all my hats on the wall. Eddie isn't capable of scoring 3 goals in one football game. Fucking behave yourself. He scored 13 in his career, 10 of them being for Arsenal. Hand on heart, this guy is the best guest we've had on the show. Top 4 included. Nice. That's a compliment. Nice one.
Thank you.
We're going to definitely get back to him in 2 seconds. I'm going to catch up in these comments real quick. Hopefully, I ain't millions behind. I'm going to skip through a couple of them quickly, just salty about it, or just salty about the Tillemans. But I think Tillemans could be going Newcastle, guys. I'm going to just quickly wrap this up myself. I've been told Arsenal have been given the opportunity to actually wrap this up in January. Arsenal have said they declined the offer. They reckon that they can get their man in the summer on a free transfer. I reckon it would have to take a half a decent bid from Newcastle. I reckon if it went to the 30th of January, and I reckon Newcastle come with 10, 11 million quid, I think Newcastle would have zero option but to accept, because 10, 11 million quid is more than they're going to get out of Arsenal, which is that much. So if Newcastle want the player, I think he is gettable. I don't think there is anything agreed with Tillemans to Arsenal. I think the longer it goes on, and if this January is to see itself out and Tillemans is still a Leicester player, I think we collect him on a free at the end of the season. But my real feeling is at this moment, the Parav Cup going back to Newcastle, Leicester have 2 shitty goalkeepers. 1+1. It could be. I could be making 3.5 here, but I'm going to go with that. I've made a steady 2, and I think the Bravka is going to be the guy that nicks Tillemans to Newcastle, and Newcastle will also follow up with a whopping £55 million deal for Maddison. Watch this space, guys. Saudi money, bruv. Most definitely, brother. They love it in Geordie, man. They love it like Nuki Brown. Oh man, they love it like a glass of Nuki Brown. Sorry, bros. I am the biggest. I get lovely. He's not even offended. He's just thinking this guy's nuts. Geordie, tell us about the transformation of Joe Linton. Looks completely a different player. Over to you, boss.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Linton, Mike Ashley, former owner, who I don't relate to name, he brought Joe Linton in as a striker for 40 million from Hoffenheim. He's never really been a striker in his career, if you look at his statistics. So the former owner thought, if I bring him in and he bangs in 20 goals that season, Man City might come in with a bid for 80 million the season after, and I'll get double my money. Didn't work like that. Under Steve Bruce, he just looked absolutely woeful. Eddie Howe came into the club, looked at the playing staff, And then he sort of thought, right, I'm going to try Joe Linton in a different position. Obviously, Eddie's done his homework, looked at where Joe Linton's played in his career, which he's played out on the left or in the middle. He's put Joe Linton in the middle of in the midfield,
Fair enough.
and now he looks a completely different player. Even Liverpool's been looking at him, believe it or not. He's not for sale at any price because
Wow. Okay.
he's absolutely brilliant, and he's been fantastic. He looks a different player altogether. He's not the laughing stock in the Premier League no more. He's now one of the top midfielders in the country.
Jesus Christ, like, I didn't quite expect that as an answer, but I was definitely taking my hat off to Joe Linton. But Lee, I'm pretty sure that covers everything you need to know about Joe Linton at the moment. According to Tony, this guy's one of the top midfielders in the country. I've been putting it around on my channel that Newcastle need a midfielder. Maybe they don't, or maybe it will be the very own Gooner, Willock, that will be for the chop if Newcastle do get themselves a sensible central midfielder. And Almiron, wow, he totally surprised me this season. Bros, he's been on fucking fire. There's no other ways to put it. In fact, since the tail end of last season, Almiron has really, really, really been catching my eye, as in his general all-around movement. I know he's quite slight. He's a little Peruvian lad, but you know what? He's got bollocks, and I like him. Where I would more say, not just because of his recent form, even though I love St. Maximin, I think I'd want to run out my seat at the St. James's Park, man, and I'd want to boot him right up his ass because he does a little bit. He's a little bit annoying. I'd want to knock him out. He's got so much potential and can be world class. This fucking for me, sorry, by the way, St. Maximin. But he's so annoying, and maybe Eddie Howe will get this out of him and make a fucking right world class winger out of him. St. Maximin, he seems to make the wrong decisions at vital fucker times, but. Let's see after this injury, innit? He's had obviously a bit of time to look at this, and obviously Newcastle are a serious team now. They're not the sort of 16th, 17th place scrappers they were when he once joined. Same as with Joe Linton, and again, massive shouts out to Eddie Howe on that. How is Willock doing since his move? Ask the best guest.
Willock's not been too bad. I mean, we got him on loan that season. He did well, and then we signed him permanently. Didn't have the best of starts last season. I think when he came to the club, he'd not long had COVID. Then he had an injury. But the problem was Steve Bruce decided to tell him that he had to live in the middle of nowhere in Northumberland, out in the country. Joe Willock wanted to be near around Newcastle city centre, so he was around you could go to restaurants, things like that, do things that young people do. And he was put in the middle of nowhere in a village probably where the nearest pub was maybe 5 miles away. And when Eddie Howe come in, found out what was wrong, brought him back towards the centre of Newcastle. And Eddie Howe today actually said on a press conference, he says he rates Joe Willock highly. He says, and there's definitely more to come out of Joe Willock, and he says he will get that out of him as well.
So there you go. He will get the best out of Joe Willock. Joe Willock was between 20-25 mil when he joined Newcastle. Obviously, Arsenal never really collect a lot of money for their players. I only can think of probably Willock and Iwobi that we've collected sensible money from any of our youth projects for many a year. People like Bellerin, Bellerin wasn't a youth, but we took him at 15 from Barcelona, so that's as good as a youth. Shouts out to all the real ones. Good. Can you tell us if Tielemans would be a good replacement for Thomas Partey if he ever got injured, playing the holding role of his own, bro? For me, never. Don't know if you've got anything to say about that, Tony. He's not my cup of tea, Tielemans, man. He's not my cup of tea.
He's a funny one, Tielemans, because he goes missing in games, doesn't he? And if he comes to Newcastle, he won't be able to go missing because Eddie Howe makes sure he doesn't go missing. But it's a strange one.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think his time at Leicester is just done, though. I think nature has passed it. He's 25. He obviously rates himself better than that club. Similar to another 25-year-old, Ruben Neves. What the fuck, with all respect to Wolves, is he still doing at Wolves? I've heard this one as he actually had a agreement in place. So last summer, when teams were sniffing around him, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, and possibly yourselves, Newcastle, when everyone started sniffing around Ruben Neves, apparently his agent kind of said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. The 1st of January 2023, he's out the door, he's going Barca, the deal's done. Barcelona have been Barcelona as usual, the piss takers of football, the new clowns of football when it comes to money, haven't come up with the money that was agreed. And apparently it wasn't bad money. Like, I think they would ask Newcastle for more than 32, 33 million pounds if you went knocking for Ruben Neves tomorrow. I'm not saying this could open up anyone's can of worms for Ruben Neves, but if I was talking about if you would like, if I wanted Arsenal to sign Ruben Neves or a fucking Tielemans, it isn't even close for me, mate. Ruben Neves is this level. Tielemans plays. Shall I tell you what it is with me with Tielemans? He plays when he wants to. If Arsenal are 2-0 up, fine and dandy, and we're battering Newcastle tomorrow, Tielemans will come into that team, slot into that midfield, and look like a fucking beast. If Arsenal are 2-0 down to Newcastle half time tomorrow, and Tielemans is introduced to the team, I think he comes on, he's a ghost for the last 45 minutes. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but he's one of them guys.
Yeah.
When it's going fucking good, Tielemans can look world class. When you need a bit of scrap, a bit of heart, a bit of passion, and put my bollocks on the line, Tielemans for me is a little bit. I'm not so sure. But that's only just for me, guys. So, do you know what? I embrace Newcastle signing Tielemans because I don't want him at Arsenal. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I seriously don't want the dude. I'm sure Eddie Howe will have more than one concern over Tielemans. So maybe it isn't quite true about Tielemans. Maddison, I'm sure Newcastle are imminently going to make a bid for. UE, why don't you come on then? We have more of a choice. I like it. I think Coney wants my vote. Go on, Linda. Shouts out. Fire. Put your money where your mouth is. Hazard wants to bite UE today. I can see it. I can feel it. It's happening. Hazard wants to bite UE. Sorry, Hazard's youth views in the comments, Tony. Laugh out loud. Geordie, I've read articles stating Tielemans would be good cover if I'm still quite injured. My feeling. Is it Trick Tony Day? What's going on here? Like, I'm reading this comment thinking, are we trying to trick Jardy on fucking Channel Live? Like, what's going on? Tony, over to you. Have you got anything to say to that?
No, not at all. No.
I was hoping you'd say
that's a trick question, that isn't it? I mean, don't think I've ever seen him play in goal. That's for sure.
There you go. Thank you. Fuck, you said it. I was thinking, well, fucking, first of all, Ramsdale's fucking goalkeeper. Nice one. Fuck me. You album. Why are you starting? It's because Craig and name in the chat, innit? Linda wants to put face to the name so she can send immigration. Shout out to all the Turkish brothers on the stream. That's so deep. Gonna send immigration, man. That's fucked up. Linda, I know you're a Tory. Sorry, fuck me if I keep doing it. So I love you for that. Hazard and his political views, always and forever. Blah blah blah. Lil Burkamp is in the place. Your apologies for the error. It's not the first time he's fluffed his lines. Grimerez, Lukonga swap deal. I'll do that one all day long, bros. All day long. Seriously. If Jordy on the street, if Jordy could do the deal right now, I'll drive Lukonga to fucking St James's Park. Seriously, I'll do it right now as well.
You got no chance.
No, exactly. I'm pretty sure of that as well. I'm sure you will, in a season or so, have people eyeing Grimerez though, and I'm sure, do you know what I mean? That will go with the becoming a big club. Not that Newcastle fans won't remember that. Again, I remember them being so entertaining on the people like Keegan and everything. Meltdowns aside on Sky Sports News, Sky Sports and everything. But I don't know, Philip Albert, you had centre halves that would love goalkeepers. I don't know. There was so much for Newcastle. I used to love Newcastle them sort of times. Philip Albert. I don't know. You had people. Was it Warren Barton at right back? Would it be Cernacek in goal? Fucking not Gillespie. Robert Lee probably on the right, Ginola possibly on the left, Ferdinand or fucking Asprilla up front, if not both of the fuckers. That was an exciting Newcastle team.
Gillespie was great on the right wing as well.
Gillespie was, sorry, I was sort of more linking into Man United. He came from Man United, didn't he? That's why I was thinking.
We sold Andy Cole and he come as part of the deal from Andy Cole going to Man United. Yeah, so they bought Cole for they paid $6 million for Cole plus Keith Gillespie.
Imagine that for a deal, isn't it? And Andy Gould went on to do so much for Man United, the bastard. I can't believe we lost him for about 50 quid though. Remember, he was a academy product for Arsenal, Andy Cole.
Yeah, he went to Bristol City, didn't he?
He did. Well done. Yeah, and I think it was less than 2 million that took him to whether it was Newcastle next or wherever his next move. It was less than 2 mil. Was it to you guys next?
Yeah, we got him for $1.5 million, I think, from Bristol City.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Fuck me, what a piece of business that was.
Him and Bielsa were a partnership up front. They were one of the best partnerships up front.
Most definitely, most definitely. And then you had some proper wingers as well, some proper ball players that could whip the ball in,
Yeah.
get it high. Fucking hell, yeah, most definitely.
Rob Lee.
Yeah, Rob Lee, again, Gillespie, Ginola at times, or more than times. The central midfield is a little bit more, I think, rough and tumble. I know you had David Batty for a little while. Who else did we have? Who else did we have there?
We've had plenty. We've had Gary Speed.
Of
Another
course, Gary
fantastic
Speed,
midfielder.
mixed race brother as well. Oh, God, what's his name? The little fucker, I think you got him from Forest. Oh, God. Is it Kieran something? Kieran Dyer or something?
Dyer, Kieran Dyer from Ipswich, yeah.
Sorry, man. I love football, innit? And I've loved football for a very long time, innit? So I'll always even remember where they come, or usually remember where they come from. For fuck's sakes, you're panning up like Trump and Kanye West. Jeez, what's going on in this chat this evening? Guys, can we get some predictions for Arsenal versus Newcastle tomorrow? Tony's gone 1-1. I'm going 3-1 to the very mighty Arsenal. Guys, again, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Anyone want to throw any comments Tony's way? This will be about the time to do it. And then I think we're going to have a quick hit and miss on a couple of Arsenal and Newcastle transfers of the last couple of seasons. But yeah, that's not really fair though. See, Eddie Howe's just come in and we've had Arteta slightly longer. I don't know, maybe we'll give that one a miss. Man actually asked Tony the question about Tielemans, rate you, Danny, love you. Of course. I'm not sure about this Tielemans dude. He's a little fat. Do you know what? As I said, it's not. He's a fat fucker. He just turns up when he wants to, and when it's important, like do you remember Adi Bayor when he was playing for a new contract? Whether it was Arsenal, City, or Real Madrid, this geezer started firing goals in left, right, and centre. Adi Bayor was a G for being able to fucking find the times in his career when he needed goals the most, and I just hate people like that. And Tielemans reminds me of that guy. The stream is wicked. The stream is a wicked place, but it always has been on Danny AFC TV. How do you messing? You're messing up the show. They think you're being serious. Steve Howe, man, why?
Yeah.
I remember big centre half Steve Howe.
Yeah, again, he was a striker. Keegan coming to the club.
Seriously?
He wasn't a great striker, Steve Howe. No, he was useless up front. He was terrible. And Keegan turned him into a centre-back. And what a fantastic centre-back he was. Played for England, went to Man City. I mean, that guy, that's like an Eddie Howe thing. Turning one player. I mean, basically, Eddie Howe is like a clone of Keegan in some ways. I mean, how he can transform a player, and Keegan pulled Howie from being a crap centre forward to making him into one of the best centre halves in the Premier League.
There you go. Never actually knew that ever. Never knew why Howie was a striker, man. Oh shit, bro. Hold on. When you start telling man that Tielemans can play the party role, you're missing the thing. You're missing the thing as well. Oh my gosh. Okay. Tielemans he can't play any role. I don't know. Again, for me, he's not Arsenal. If Newcastle did want to do that deal, I'm done thinking about Tielemans to Arsenal. I'd rather just get Mudrak done and evaluate everything in the summer, see where we finish, count our pennies, go again with some sponsorship deal, get the rest of the wankers and the deadwood out of the club, the Maitland Miles, the Cedrics. Rob Holding has got to fucking finally go. Don't know what he figures or does there. Lokonga can fuck himself. The Eddie Florin Balogun thing up front will have to come to a head, as in I don't want just Balogun coming back to sit there doing fuck all. Is Eddie actually the best backup striker to Jesus? And Jesus has only got 4 goals in his Arsenal career thus far. So is he even the guy anyway? Even though his work rate is wonderful and most Gooners do have a very affectionate heart when it comes to Gabriel Jesus. Janus from the medical room. Yeah, Janus straight out of the medical room. Yeah, big up, Geordie. Good stream. Shouts out to all the real ones. Agree, Long Burkham. Best guest we've had on the show. Hazard included. It's a pay-per-view guest show. Not used to have bang fire. I'm not involved. Oh shit. Oh my god. Inshallah. Oh, shouts out to all the real ones. Oh my gosh. it's almost that time of day, guys, when it's almost time to close things down. So, bro, this is your last chance saloons now. Tony, it's been wonderful having you on the show. 1-1, you're going of tomorrow.
I am, yes, 1-1, and I'll take a point tomorrow.
You'll take a point. And after your last game, 0-0 against God, who was it against? Sorry, your last game. Leeds, sorry. So what? Couple of changes. Wood was up front, yeah. Callum Wilson will come in. And then obviously you've got the Isaac and St. Maximin that could possibly, what's my computer doing? That could possibly come on from off the bench. Piss off Google.
If Isak's in the squad, but we're not sure, so that could be a surprise. But I mean, Wilson will definitely come in, I think, tomorrow, and hopefully ESM will replace Longstaff and we'll move Joel Linton back into centre midfield.
Very funny. So sorry, bro. Very funny you say that. I know. Now Rangers fucking brother. Now Rangers got fucking Ranger tattooed on forehead. He's fucking after Newcastle. He's went Blackpool. So I do know about now Ranger. Sorry, I've just said it in case you were just asking that to the Geordie Tony himself. But yeah, I do remember him. And what a ball bag he made of his career, bros. Because he was a guy. I know he's from Tottenham, and I know he had a lot of potential to his career, bros. And I think Newcastle paid him a quid or two too early. Got him a lovely little 1 or 2 bedroom flat in Newcastle that I was actually invited to back in the day for one little underground party. D-Double, Footsie, and a couple of my other friends, a guy called Hamza, and that were all making their way in Newcastle to go to now Rangers flat because he was that original party boy. I declined that night. I was way too busy, probably selling certain rubbish or whatever I was doing at the time. But I was way too busy to go to now Rangers flat in Newcastle and be partying away. Hey, man, with Newcastle Brown in hands and joint another. But I was way too busy. But I do remember Nile Ranger. Do you have any memories of Nile Ranger, Tony?
He did all right but then things just went pear-shaped and he left the club, and after that it was just his career just went on a downer after that.
I don't even know if he's still playing right now. I know he went Blackpool and that was the last I ever heard of him.
He was at Bournemouth last season, wasn't he?
Bournemouth?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I heard Blackpool. Fuck me, I wonder if he's still at Bournemouth. Interesting. Let's go and track now Ranger down. Wow, well, he still kept with football anyway. He kept on getting in trouble with the police and having fights with his girlfriend back in like Tottenham and Wood Green, North London, like, and then driving back up to Newcastle, probably pissed. Who knows?
Yeah.
On a serious note, Tony, where can you guys finish this season?
Well, before the season started, I gave my prediction. I said we would win the Carabao Cup, get to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and finish 7th place. That would be progress for me. Yes, we're in the top 4 at the moment. If we sustain this and stay in the top 4, then that's fantastic. But realistically, if there was a finish to having the Premier League, I would say between 6th and 7th.
All right.
And that would be progress.
Excuse me, sorry, Jesus. Massive progress. 2-1 Arsenal from Lumberkamp. On a more serious note, mate, how are you liking the third kit? How are you liking the third kit, mate?
I mean, nothing wrong with it. I mean, I know a lot of people have had that say about it, journalists. But yeah, I mean, they're liking it to the Saudi kit and all this. But you know what?
I love it.
The thing is, it's a good marketing idea because for the Saudi fans back in Saudi Arabia, it's great for them as well. But not only that, what people don't tend to realise is, and if you're not from Newcastle and from the area, you wouldn't know, but actually on the shirt itself, so you've got to look at it a bit more closely, but it has all the hallmarks of the town, like all the landmarks. So you've got St James's Park on there, the tall statue, the greatest monument, so all that's on there, and it's fantastic.
Fair enough, nice, I like it. I'm gonna have to give that top a bit of a closer look at. Do you prefer? Why? Maybe he wants to show your pronunciation. I like a bit of an Indian man. Why? Sorry.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, both are fine. Both are. Yeah, I'll have either. I'm not fussy.
I'm not fussy, me. True or false? Lacazette scored 1 outfield goal last season.
Oh no, there's a question. Shirley scored more than once, so I'm going to say false.
I thought I heard typing. I was like, I heard click, click. I thought, is he typing fucking answer? But I think it's true, to be honest with you. I believe he scored one outfield goal, and that could have come off his bollocks as well. So I think he was lucky to even be credited with that. So I think that is actually true myself. You, bro, you need to leave the Golden Nuggets at home, bro. Save them for the group. Man, them are bored of the lacquer jokes. Bros, I find them hilarious still to today, to be fair. I find the lacquer... I think in 5 seasons' time, yeah, Arsenal could be top of the league and still saying, why, yeah, man, we're winning the league. I'll still find Lacazette fucking funny, bros, and I'll still think you're Lacazette's agent. Honestly, I love you, though, as well. Tony prefers a dirty dollar. And greasy dollar, man, why, yay? And we are from match. So sorry.
Yeah.
Come on, and chips all round, man.
True, oh, yeah, gotta have chips.
Gotta have the chips in kebab. Guys, I think this is almost it. Tony, mate, nice one. I think we've discussed central midfield and attacking mid/winger. I think Newcastle do honestly, all bullshits aside, they stay as a top 14 this season. As for Arsenal, I said something similar. 2 class signings, and we can have a genuine shout at winning the title this year. Now, Mudrak, I believe, is 100% incoming. Arsenal are doing Arsenal and haggling like we do for like the penny pinching bastards that we are at the best of times, whether it's right or wrong. But then again, this is the same football club that slashed out 72 million YIs on Pepe. Do you know what I mean? And we couldn't give it to Newcastle, for example, at the 72 million that we signed him for. But yeah, Tony, I'm almost going to go. Who is better, Joey Barton? Could be kind of similar, but
I would say Joey Barton.
Fucking hell, Joey Barton. Just to defend the big Mo, I'm gonna say Mo just because I'm an Arsenal fan. Then Joey Barton, he went to every club, innit? He had times he had hints everywhere. That's a tough one. That actually is. Dan, I'm going to get my head down, bruv. See you tomorrow. Yeah, bruv, so am I. I'm going to jump off the stream and certainly get myself tucked up. I can't believe, Tony, Arsenal West Ham tickets, I had like 4 of them available, mate. I woke up at 10 to 8 on the day of Arsenal West Ham. The kickoff was 8 p.m. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was shocked and stunned. So, no, Lee, I won't be doing a repeat performance of that one. Love to you, Lee. Yeah, guys, shouts out to all the real ones. Man said Joey Barton, El Neni is a lovely guy, though. So what does that mean? Joey Barton's a complete cunt. Goes court for doing his wife. Do you know what I mean? He was in court recently with his wife, wasn't he? I'm sure I did see clips of that. Sports News quite recently. Him, Ryan Giggs, a couple of others. Stevie Watson, man.
Yeah.
Best left back in fucking Newcastle. Watson, fucking fine centre back. Warren Barton, Blondale, best right back in the fucking world. Who else you got, bro? Sorry, this geezer will throw footballers at me, and I will just name who they played for. Sorry, this is a bit of a game. Who we got now? Habib, that bastard. You've caught me out on him before. Yeah, you caught me out on him before. Well done. Screw you. I couldn't fit. He played for Newcastle, obviously, didn't he, Tony?
Bastard. Yeah, right back. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, I knew I'd heard of him, and it was pissing me off. And I think that the previous 2 players were Newcastle players that he said. So if I linked all of it together, I probably could have took a guess at Newcastle. But I'd heard of him, but couldn't place the YI where he was, which was obviously Newcastle. Shouts out to you though, UE. Oh god, he's a throw. Lee Clark, legend central midfielder at Newcastle, legendary. Unless you're throwing these all for Tony. Sorry, I'm dropped. I bark like a dog.
We lost his son last year, though.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, he went to Liverpool, Bobby Clark.
Sorry,
he's a fantastic player, a fantastic prospect. And, because before the new owners came in, Mike Ashley just let him go and he went to Liverpool. So we lost out on a top talent. And he's been on the bench a few times for Liverpool this season. And if these new owners had been in, he probably wouldn't have gone. But
what did you call him? Bobby Clark. Bobby
Clark, yeah. Bobby Clark.
fucking hell. Right, and everyone to keep an eye on, because they've took Elliot, they've obviously got Carvalho, they've had some Spanish kid come on the other day. Liverpool have got it's a bag of talent in the youth setup, and maybe everyone's screaming Liverpool need to make a bag of signings. Maybe it isn't so true. Maybe they've got that covered in their youth. Yeah, I know. So did I, bros. That's why I said you're joking. So did for a minute here when he said it like that, like we lost him. I was like,
yeah, I meant it as in like we lost him to Liverpool. Yeah,
this is why we love Newcastle fans, isn't it? It was like a death in fucking family. We lost him. It was fucking blasphemous. If he when he makes bastard fucking debut for Liverpool, he's fucking dead to me. so that's how deep it is, maybe. But sorry, that's actually what I thought that as well. Sorry, Oliver Bernard. That's another left back off the Newcastle production line, I do believe.
Yeah, owns his own football club now.
Does he fucking really? I'm loving the way you can further on things for me. I know you're a Newcastle fan and everything, but I love it. Ben Arthur. You're not talking about the same Ben Arthur that runs around at is it Glasgow Rangers right about now? Ben Arthur.
I don't know where he's at now, Ben Arthur. I'm not sure where he's at now. I think he's at Lille, isn't he? In France.
I thought he was at Rangers.
No, he's definitely not Rangers. I think it's Lille he went to.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're going to have to confirm that. Laurent Robert, the one and only. Again, man.
Yeah, Robert, what a hell of a left foot he had.
Yeah, most definitely. Didn't probably live up to another one. Who's another one? As soon as I think of a left-footed talent, what's that fucker called? Do they have like a three-barreled name? Oh, fuck. What's his name? French. Oh, God. The guy not Hakimi, you prick. Oh, God. Hakim Ben Arthur, you bastard. Sorry, you're the bastard.
Ben Arthur.
Ben Arthur. That was another one that didn't quite probably live up to a massive amount of potential that he had in Geordieland, St James's Park. The fog on the time is Almain. Yui Defo has Geordie on the phone, most definitely. He loves a bit of Geordie, innit? Who was the Argentine centre-back? Curly hair.
Colaccini.
Yeah? Did we both say that? Yeah, we both said it. We both said it. Well done to both of us. I'm super fast on that, bro. I won't be beaten on player unless it's fucking Habib, whatever it is, by bastard there he is. Habib bastard for that. Colaccini. Well done, Lung Burkamp as well. Shouts out to all the real ones in the chat. Again, as normal, guys, you're always on fire. You're amazing. Arsenal Newcastle tomorrow, guys. I'm hearing, for whichever reason, KT, Scotland's Braveheart, could be filling at left back again for Zinchenko. Is Zinchenko also secretly made of glass? Like, I don't know what's going on. Also, I think Tony's confirmed it. I'm going to run with him with it. I don't think the League Cup or the FA Cup does count. Obviously, we've got Oxford in the FA Cup. So I'm going to stick with, if Saliba or Saka is booked against the mighty Newcastle tomorrow, we're going to be a slightly ever so fucked against Tottenham because we do need Saka. And obviously, I don't want Rob Holding hair transplant or not back in Arsenal central defence. In fact, I would love Eddie Howe to come up with 10 million YEIs and take Rob Holding to Newcastle, but I doubt that will ever happen. And I doubt you need Rob Holding either, by the way, mate. As you said, you got the best defence in the league at the second. The sad one for me was the brother who died, scored a wicked goal, beat us in the 4-4 draw. Oh, the last goal. Yeah, fuck me, yes.
Yeah,
that was fucked up. I remember that game as well so much. I've never been so gutted watching a football game. I wanted to, as much as I like Newcastle, I wanted to fucking just bite someone from Newcastle immediately. Like, anyone would have done. Woman, man, child. Sorry, that sounds so bad on YouTube. I was so fucking... At 4-2, I was fine. At 4-3, I knew it was coming next. It was all fucked up. I remember that game like it was yesterday. At 4-2, I was still calm. Fuck it, we'll get a fifth. At 4-3, it was like, fucking hell, the fog on the time isn't mine, man. It's not mine.
Yeah.
Fog on the time. Where does Tony think Newcastle finish? Where do Arsenal finish? Tony?
Yeah, I've said, even if we don't finish in top four, we finish seventh.
Tony, we're gonna have to
still.
No, Tony. We're pressuring you for a number now. We want numbers.
We want numbers.
Yeah, we were fucking straight numbers.
I'll
Where
tell
does
you what,
Arsenal finish?
I'll say between 6th and 7th for Newcastle.
Arsenal?
Um, you're at the top at the moment, but I've just
7
got that
points.
feeling. I've just got that feeling you're going to miss out, so it'll be second place.
And you know what? And of course, this would only be to, of course, Man City. Any thoughts on Liverpool? Obviously, they've got Cody Gakpo before we close. Any thoughts on Man United? Will they sign anyone? And I don't know if you did catch the first 20 minutes before you come in, I reckon Man City, even though they've publicly said on record that they will not be making these signings this January, I reckon there's one massive signing incoming at Man City. My feeling is, this is nothing I've heard, this is just guesswork. I reckon they're going for the left winger at AC Milan, Rafael Leao. Don't know how much you know about him, but he's a fucking outstanding talent. Is there going to be any surprise in the January window, basically? How much more money will be spent? Not just Arsenal, Newcastle now. Who's the biggest rivals to Newcastle finishing top four? And as we all know, I think there's only one team at this moment that can stop Arsenal from winning the league, unless it was to be Newcastle. Someone in the comments, Rodney DePlonka earlier did say this is now becoming a three-horse race between Arsenal, Newcastle, and Man United. I said, mate, I love Newcastle, but I still don't put them in this race. I said, if Newcastle come to the Emirates tomorrow and spank us, I change everything I say. Newcastle are fucking banging this race for top, not top four, for the fucking title. But that there for me puts out, you have to come and do a little statement. You have to come to the Emirates tomorrow, do us 2-0 straight in our bollocks. We're left with our trousers down, and our 7 points become 4 points ahead of ahead of Manchester City. Sorry.
Well, we're shocked your neighbours. Shocked your neighbours Spurs. I mean, last season they beat us 5-1 and we went there and won 2-1. So,
yep.
Totally different team this season.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. If you've got to play any of the Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Liverpools in the last coming weeks of the season, because I know we play you, I think smack bang at the end of the season, which will be a massive game up in Geordieland. That'll be definitely a game. I'll probably try and get a ticket for Newcastle Arsenal away. Obviously, I'm going to be at the round one tomorrow, let's say. And you know what? Actually, guys, quickly, I've got 2 tickets available for tomorrow's game. If anyone wants to give me a sensible offer, Lee Akers is actually the guy that is actually in control of these tickets. They're not mine, so it's not on a cheap or a massive discount or anything. But if you want to hustle and have a little tussle with Lee Akers, there's 2 extra tickets because, why, yeah, man, I've got 2 season tickets for the rest of the fucking season. So, why, yeah, just like that, man. So, Lee Akers doesn't need his tickets no more, and I've got 2 of these beauties sat here in front of me. So Arsenal, Man City, I'm covered. As we all know, Newcastle, I'm at the game tomorrow, and I'm going to start doing some YouTube shorts. Tony, if you may, please, always remember to keep an eye on my channel. I'm not saying don't come back on as well. There shall be a Newcastle-Arsenal return, and who knows, there could be Arsenal, Newcastle in the FA Cup, as our Arsenals have already been dumped out the Caravan Cup, which I call it. And who are you playing next in the Caravan Cup anyway? Sorry, as you tipped yourself. Leicester
City at home.
Wicked. You're going to kick the shit out of them then. So, who else is the biggest threats left in that? Man City,
Man U.
And
then the other tie is Forest and Wolves. So if we get through the semi-finals, ideally I would like a Manchester derby in the semi-finals, so we get either one of Wolves or Forest.
Perfect. Which, again, with all respect to Wolves or Forest, I think you'll have way more firepower than them to deal with. If January goes your way, even without January going your way, I reckon you'll beat both of them 2 teams respectively. If you get the January that I reckon you guys are probably planning for and deep down hoping for without having your whole balls squeezed out and choked. If Leicester are willing to play ball, I do reckon you get that over the line, whether it's going to be 50, 55 mil. I don't think you're going to go to something extraordinary like 65 and 70s, but I reckon there's a deal to be done. I heard very reliably Newcastle were definitely looking at Mykhailo Mudryk at the time Everton was at the end of last season, and when he could have been done for about 34 mil. When Newcastle kind of sniffed around him this season, true or not, I got told they were rejected. Like, this guy's head has been turned. He wants Arsenal. So, do you know what? Thanks, but fuck off. So I don't know how true that was, but maybe you could be. Sorry, what my dig is on that one is a Michaela wants us. Is probably that you could want a winger as well, and it might not be just Maddison you're after.
Yeah.
Tony Top 4 asked the guest. Guys, on this bombshell, I think that almost covers everything, unless Tony wants to throw anything at me or blah, blah, blah.
No, that's all. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. Well, did you do another stream tonight as well? Because that's what you said. You've done another stream tonight.
Yeah, I was on another Arsenal channel as well. So
how was that?
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah.
I bet this one was better, though. Just saying. I bet this one was better. Why? Hey, man. So, guys, please hit the likes in the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. If there is anyone from Tony's side, when I say Tony's side, on Tony's firm, Newcastle boys, please get at me on the channel. Please get the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you is new. I'm back now. I think that's about it. I'm almost done. Tony, thanks for coming on, bro. I'm gonna get the
Thank you.
I'm going to get the hell out of this stream. Guys, it's been emotional as ever. Arsenal, Newcastle. I'm sticking with 3-1. As far as team news, again, Arsenal, again, we haven't got the biggest squad in the world. It's Ramsdale, Ben White at right back, Zinchenko if available left back. If not, it will be the Braveheart himself. Gabriel Saliba centre back, Partey and Xhaka guarding the midfield. Odegaard trying to take the piss out of everyone slightly ahead of them. Saka, Martinelli, and the beast that is the very, for me, unreliable, steady Eddie of useless Nketiah. But shouts out to you all, guys. Yeah, Eddie Nketiah is not my favourite player, bro. Shouts out to everyone. I would have Alexander Isaac over Eddie any day of the week, man. Why, aye. But again, guys, I'm out the building. Shouts out to Tony. Shouts out to Yui, to Hazard, to Lundberg, to Linda, to just everyone, Liakers, everyone that was in the chat. You're all fucking legends. Guys, have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out the building. Good night, Tony.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you later.
Easy, mate. Nice one. Good night,
Bye-bye.
people. Easy.